Hey guys, we're back for text 2 and let's go. So, text 2, Sanjay said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. Number one point, any sort of physical difficulties that we see in ourselves should not stop us from reaching God. They should not stop us on our spiritual path. That is something I need to remind myself as well. That is something we all need to remind ourselves. Number one thing, we all feel tired. We're like, I'm really tired today. But if we find the willpower, if we find the strength, I feel like God lends us His. So that is something that's really important for all of us, for me to keep in mind. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. So again, this is where dharma and adharma comes in. What is the difference between dharma and adharma? Being pious since birth. This bit I do have questions about, because surely one person or any person cannot be full of dharma or full of adharma. It has to be like a mix, right? But I suppose there's balance, there's a delicate balance of where your heart wants to go all the time. If your heart wants to go to God, if your heart wants to go to the divine, be filled with the divine light, then God will guide you every single day, in every single way, in every single era. Because in every single era, I suppose, there's a different way to deal with things. Everything changes, but if we trust our intuition, if we connect our intuition with the divine, then we should get the answer. We should be able to get the answer if we receive with an open heart. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjay could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjay wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king, and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. I don't know if that's a good idea because they're saying that, it's a holy place. It's kind of like acknowledging we're not on the right side. We're fighting this battle. It's a holy place. Nothing really looks like it's in our favor. And they're kind of thinking that, okay, so if nothing's in our favor, we shouldn't make more of a compromise, rather than thinking, maybe this battle shouldn't have happened in the first place. I don't know, because there were many instances where Shri Krishna, warned everyone about the battle, told everyone, made everyone aware that these are the consequences. But it still carried on. Sanjay, therefore, informed the king that his son Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief Dronacharya to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician, but Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. Okay, so it's like literally being at war and realizing what's ahead of you, like, oh wow, okay, I'm going to read text 3 as well. Text 3. O my teacher, behold a great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out that the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupad, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupad performed a great sacrifice, by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Wow. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmin, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupad, Drishdyumna, was entrusted to him for military education. It's like knowing what's coming your way. Again, I keep getting this word recently, niyati. It's understanding what's coming your way. It's having the wisdom, it's being awakened to what is going on around you, but you still follow it. You still follow your path. Now on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadyumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx. I think that's how it's pronounced. After having learned the art from that, he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. No, I didn't read that right. After having learned the art from Dronacharya, Duryodhana pointed out his mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. That's sneaky, maybe. Sneaky, yeah. It's kind of like, oh, look what happened. By this, he wanted to point out that also he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas. He was fair on his side, I suppose, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat. So there's a lot of anxiety on the side of Duryodhana. Text 4 is really small, so I'm going to read that too. So, text 4. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virat, and Drupad. Even though Drishtadyumna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power in the military art, there were many others who were causes of fear. They were mentioned by Duryodhana as great stumbling blocks on the path of victory, because each and every one of them, as formidable as Bhim and Arjun, he knew the strength of Bhim and Arjun, and thus he compared the others with them. There was like this fear in his heart already that he knows the strength, he knows what's coming. It's like you know it all, and then you're still going for it. Okay, text 6 is still very, very small, 5 and 6. So I'm going to read this. There are also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chaitanya, Kasiraja, Purajit, Kunti Bhoj, and Saibya. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamaja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadat, called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. Duryodhana mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana. Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya, and Somadati, or Bhurishrava, is the son of the king of the Balikas. Karna is the half brother of Arjuna, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. It's all just describing everyone is so linked to each other, so closely linked, and it's one big family fight, one big family feud that is going this way. Okay, there are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadrat, Kritavarma, and Salya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them will die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above-mentioned combined strength of his friends. Okay, so wow, that was deep. That was basically a list of who's on what side, who's where, and everyone's really strong. And Duryodhana in his head is looking at the strength of everyone. If anyone on that battlefield has a spiritual vision and they open their hearts and allow themselves to receive what is happening on that battlefield, they will see no one is greater than where Krishna is. That is what I feel. And if we know where Krishna is, if we follow our heart and we understand, we recognize where Krishna is in and around us every single day, then we'll know what to do. I need to reflect on that on a deeper level so I can understand where it is that I stand, where it is that I need to go, where it is that I need to move, into which direction. And that's an everyday thing to understand what to do, where to go, who to talk to, who to sit with, who to stand with, who to fight with, who to love with, everything. And there's no separate, because even in Mahabharata, it's just Krishna everywhere, everywhere. But it is about understanding where Dharma is, because that is where Shri Krishna would be. So yeah, lots to think about. See you in the next one. Bye bye.